We are at Barefoot and Braless Gardens today. We're in Lisa Borm's kitchen, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about plantains.
Plantains are a weed that you probably have in your yard, your flower gardens. You probably spend a lot of time trying to pull. They're very hard to pull, they're stringy, and this is something that is actually very beneficial. To make these, I take these and I pull them off. Bugs like them, so you're going to spend a little bit of time trying to find whole leaves that haven't been chewed on.
Ah,
They must know they're healthy too.
so they're healthy for the bugs.
Yes, and for us. And you let these dry for a couple of days, and this is just to keep the moisture from dissolving in your oil, because we're infusing them in oil.
Okay.
I use olive oil. I actually get it at Costco in the bigger bunch because it adds up. And it takes all day long to process this. So, of course, we can't do that now. I do have some already made. I store this in the basement. You want this to stay cool and in a darker place. So, like any oil, it will go rancid. So, you want to protect this. And it's in a spaghetti jar because I upcycle.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to show you real quick, how to do the infusion. I have calendula, I think that's how you pronounce it, petals right now infusing. And I put these in water. They're sitting on a ring. Let me show you a kind of ring. A canning ring. You know I'm not going to find one because I want to. You set this in the pan. You fill up the water to this. You put it on very low. You are not boiling this oil at all. You put it on very low. And it sits all day long. I do it all day long. Okay, so we've made the oil. Now, when you're doing your ingredients, this is a 5 parts oil to 1 part beeswax. You have to measure. You have to measure by weight. The beeswax, this is 1 ounce of beeswax, and then your liquids you do by ounces on here, and this is 5. So we're going to put them in a measuring cup. You're going to put the oil in here. I always put the beeswax first so it starts melting. You dump this on here. I'm hoping this doesn't take too long. And this is the same setup. I have a canning ring in here. I set it on the canning ring, and you're not boiling. And all we're doing here is just melting the wax on here. While we're waiting for that.
So what you're doing with this is literally making a very out of the garden organic salve.
Yes.
And that can be used for like moisturizer, or is it medicinal?
This is actually, I get poison ivy. I have tons of poison ivy in the yard. I'm clearing it all. And I don't get it really bad. I don't get it where I have to go to the doctor and have steroids or anything. I get the blisters. And I've been using it on it, and it helps. Now, it isn't a cure-all.
Right.
When you are messing with poison ivy, the first thing you do, whenever you're pulling weeds, because you don't know really what you're pulling sometimes,
Right.
you come inside, cold water and Dawn, clear up to your shoulders, and you rub. And if you start getting blisters, I take the Dawn to the shower, and I take the nail brush. Because if you get the blisters until that oil goes away, it's never going to go away. And then I've been using the plantain. Jewel weed also works. Everybody around me has it. I don't have it in my yard.
Go borrow it.
I know.
So you were mentioning a little bit about poison ivy. I imagine that's not even the only thing in somebody's yard that could cause a rash. Just about anything can. So that's something to be, that's something to look out for. Yeah.
Virginia creeper, which is very common in this area. Sometimes that bothers people.
Right.
And you're right. Sometimes I don't know what I got into. I just know I'm out and I have bumps. So
so it's always best to be proactive when you've come in contact with anything. So absolutely.
I always buy the wooden skewers here to do my mixing, because even the measuring cups, you'll get a film on there. That's kind of hard too. I need to get my own cooking gear for this stuff eventually.
Your little hot plate.
Dandelion salve is another thing that's really good for cracked heels, cracked hands.
Right.
Dandelions are only active about 6 weeks out of the year.
Okay, so what's interesting about dandelions is that's something we all grew up thinking was a blight to the lawn.
Right.
And that's really a myth.
Right.
So what are some of the benefits with dandelions?
Dandelions, you can make tea out of it. It can help clean out your system. I haven't studied enough to start ingesting herbs on this.
Right.
I haven't. I'm not going to go all crazy. And I do fire cider vinegar, and that's a brew with all kinds of stuff. We drink it all winter, no flu.
Right.
And
I know you had the salve, and the one thing you gave me to sample, and I just got to mention, is the dandelion jelly, which I didn't think anybody would think at all that you could make jelly. And you were right, it does taste a lot like honey.
Right.
So
now, here, let me do this so we know which is which. These are the salves that I've made up, and as you see, they do sweat. If you put them in your car, they're going to melt.
Okay.
It's beeswax and oil. They're going to melt.
Right, and
you kind of
it doesn't have all those chemicals and things in it that keep it from
Right.
melting. So you know you're just putting natural
so
product
you
on
can
you.
test any one that you want on
What is
there.
this?
The dandelion, the plantain, and I also have
Well,
violet.
you're doing the plantain, so
Right.
let's see what that's
So you
like.
can, they feel good. The dandelion I use on my feet all the time because
Do
I
these
am
work as like
American.
lip balm too?
I haven't used them as lip balm. I'm sure you can. I do have some chocolate orange lip balm that I've used.
Oh, okay, so you do some lip balms,
I
but
do.
not. Oh, that smells very nice though.
Doesn't it? It smells very...
And it's very soft and very smooth.
Right.
And so while you're finishing up with that, I wanted to make sure that when people want to order some of the products you have, how can they do that?
Right now, I only have a Facebook page. It's Barefoot and Braless. It's on my Facebook page. There's a separate garden page. So you can look for it on Facebook. And I haven't gotten to the point yet that I have a website. I'm waiting for labels to start labeling my things.
Okay.
Because I'm messing around with, I try to make what I use.
Okay.
I have a bug stick that I'm loving, because I'm getting bit out there when I'm outside.
And what is this, citronella or?
This is, there's a bunch of oils in there. It smells very medicinal, as you can tell. It works on contact. I mean, this stuff, I'm loving it. When I come in, I'm going to have to look up the recipe.
That's fine.
And then I'm working on bug spray. And you have to smell this, because I would wear this as perfume. Isn't that, you can spray it on yourself.
Well, yeah. That's
Isn't that, it has lemongrass, it has
okay.
a
Yeah, I was
lot
gonna
of
say.
that. Yes. And it's
very
working.
nice. Yes.
You kind of have to lay a base. This isn't like, you have to lay a base and then reapply about an hour, and then you reapply, and then I haven't been able to reapply the rest of the day. So I think you kind of have to build a base on it, but it's working. So I try to make sure that they work, because like this is $10 because of the oils in it.
Right.
They're expensive. Oils are expensive. And this will probably be $7 or something for a little. So I try to make sure they're actually going to work. The salves are $10. They last a long time. You barely put this stuff on.
For the sake of time, when that would be done, what would be the next step?
Okay. Then we would add we would wait until it cools a little bit. Then you put 10 drops of lavender and 10 drops of, and I should have, Helpersium.
Learn to
I know, I should have did that. The thing when you do your oils, you need to, where did I put, oh, you need to use different eye droppers. Do not use this. These are gonna measure different. Use different eye droppers. You don't wanna cross-contaminate your essential oils. To clean them, we made a joke, cheap vodka cleans oil. And it dries faster than water. Now, once it cools off, you're going to pour it into your tins. And you have to boil all your containers. It's like old time germ control. If you're going to can, you have to boil it before you use anything. Boil them, and then you set them out there because this is all natural. It's going to spoil.
Right.
So any contaminants you're going to pass along. So.
Well, I want to thank you. This has been fun and educational, and everybody remember to check out Barefoot and Braless Gardens on Facebook. And we will see you next time.